After having the discussion with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, Herod decided that he will do something cunning in order to deal with the Magi or the three wise men. For this interview with the wise men, he arrayed himself in his kingliest robes to impress the servants and rulers from the lands beyond the Euphrates. A frontlet of diamonds and rubies gleamed from Herod's forehead, the diadem of Judah, and from it rose a tufted egret that was like a little rainbow springing from his grey hair. It was a curious meeting. The august travellers from the east behaved admirably before the king, observing all the properties of a throne room audience. Then, rising, they announced their names: Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. Herod looked upon them with a grandiloquent smile, affable and suave. "We are curious to know," he told them, "why it is that we are honored by a visit from such great dignitaries." They told him very simply that they were following a star. "A star?" repeated Herod. His spies had mentioned something of this, but vaguely. There was the court astrologer, Marto, waiting now in the rear. Herod beckoned to Marto. "Listen to this carefully, Marto. Was it a large star, friends, that you followed here?" The Magi nodded. It was a large star in the east and very bright. They had been following it for many days. "Would you know what it is, this star, Marto?" demanded the king, chafing at having to go on pretending to be amiable. Marto explained that there had recently appeared a most remarkable conjunction of Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars, a condition that would not recur in more than 1,000,000 years. But that fiery display had faded away more than a week ago. "Then you three have seen a star that my astrologer has not found," reflected Herod aloud. The wise men said nothing. "Well, at any rate, what do you say this star portends?" asked Herod. The wise men were very wise indeed, because they merely shook their heads and said that they could not tell fortunes. But did they not know what it means for the future of Israel? No, they could not be sure of anything in the future. The star led them on, that was all. "But," persisted Herod, "what do you expect to find under this star?" Then Balthazar told him. "A child," the old traveler answered, closing his eyes. "A child?" Herod's voice was creamy with interest. "And what about this child?" Melchior, the other wise men, answered that they were not free to talk until their errand was complete. "Very well then," growled Herod. "Where do you expect to find him?" "Bethlehem," he answered. "Bethlehem? Such a place?" asked Herod. Again they shrugged. They could only follow the star. With the coming of night, they would resume their journey. Herod saw that it was useless to bring mere force against wisdom, and turning a cunningly smile upon them, he said, "Then this is what you must do." He dissembled. "Go find the child, and then come back and tell me, and I will go and worship him too." Lifting a sweating hand to his brow, Herod allowed them to depart. No sooner were the doors shut behind them than he gave the signal to his spies. They were to follow the wise men and search everywhere else besides, find the child